Well, hello, my little rays of sunshine. How are you all doing out there today? I'm Michelle the Introvert, and today I have a busy day ahead of me in my kitchen. I have some food prep that I have to do. So since I've got a busy day, I thought, well, I'll make myself a nice cup of tea and put it in this very cute little Halloween mug, this skeleton mug. Isn't that cute? Yes, so it's a good way for me to start all of my projects that I have ahead of me. And if you all want to join me, that would be great. I would love to have your company. One of the things that I have to do today, and that is to do some dehydrating. I have a lot of onions that I bought for a really good price, so I'm going to be using my dehydrators. Actually, I have two cute little dehydrators that I use. There's actually one right here. This one has carrots in it. And the other dehydrator, I'm just about to finish washing up the trays and the cover for the other dehydrator. And maybe what I'll do right now is show you some of the things that I have dehydrated over the past summer. I'm at beginner level when it comes to dehydrating, but I've been doing a lot of reading and I've been watching a lot of videos that teach the steps on proper dehydrating of food. So this is one of the things that I've been learning to dehydrate, and that's some potatoes. I can make scalloped potatoes with these here. And this here has on it July 2025. Now disregard the masking tape. I don't have specialized labels for labeling, so I just use masking tape. But it does the trick. So this is potato slices that I've dehydrated. And as you can see on the top of the jar, it says Catelli. So what I've been doing is any jars that I buy from the grocery store, and I'll show you an example. Here's a jar of spaghetti sauce. I buy spaghetti sauce when it comes on sale, and from now on, when I buy jars of anything at the store, I'm going to keep the jars once they're emptied. And I can use these to put dehydrated foods in. And I've asked my stepmother and I've asked my daughter Stacy if they could save their empty jars instead of just throwing them away, if they could save them for me, because I can use them for dehydrated foods. It would save me a lot of money just to have that helping hand. So yes, when I have used up these jars, I have quite a few of these jars. When I use up the spaghetti sauce, I'll keep the jars, put all my dehydrated foods in them. And any type of jars, really, relish jars or anything, I'm going to save them so I can put my dehydrated foods in them. My daughter Stacy has given me this jar here, and she's given me this jar here, and I think she gave me this jar here, and I have carrots in this. This was a dill pickle jar. You can see Bix on there. But she gave this to me and I washed it up, and now I'm going to put my carrots in there. Pretty neat, eh? And from what I've been learning, that if you tip your jar upside down like that, and if the carrots or the dehydrated food doesn't stick to the top, that means that they're all completely dry. So I can put them on my shelf for storage. But I've also learned with all my research and watching different videos of women dehydrating food, they've said that if any of the carrots or the food stick to the bottom, that means they have to go into the dehydrator again. So I'm learning a whole bunch of things. It's like a whole new world. I've only had my dehydrators, well, I haven't had them for a long time. I definitely didn't grow up having dehydrators, and my mom didn't have a dehydrator. So this is all fairly new. And I'm at the beginner level, but I'm really learning a lot and having a lot of fun. In this jar here, I have celery leaves. So I dehydrated some celery leaves, and once they were all dry, I put them in my coffee grinder. And so now it's like a powder. It's like a powder in there. and there's nothing sticking to this part here, so they're all completely dry. But I can definitely add this to soups and casseroles, so this will come in handy, especially over the winter season. And in this jar here I have some green onions, and in this jar here I have a little bit more green onions, just a little bit more. Lots of room to add more green onions. This jar here, you can see I still have this label on, but the inside's all clean. It's a jam jar. There's some peaches in there that I dehydrated. And this over here, here's some mushrooms that I dehydrated. This cute little jar. Yes, I'm keeping all my jars. And while I'm talking about jars, I had a lot of green tomatoes in my garden, and so I thought for the first time I'd make some green tomato relish. First time. It turned out okay. But I'm still learning some things. I'm still learning some new steps. But I've got some green tomato relish here. So I have about 3 or 4 jars of green tomato relish. So I think I'm off to a good start. So I'll be doing a little bit of dehydrating, but also I want to talk to you today about freezing some food, which I've done a lot of, and maybe I'll show you some of the things that I have been freezing and putting in freezer bags. My vegetable garden has been a huge help to me this summer, but of course, being in the month of October, the gardening is done for the year. But I was able to get quite a few things, and plus I watch like a hawk for vegetables on sale, fruit that's on sale, and I was able to get a lot of things frozen for the freezer. Now, a lot of the things that I've done for the freezer, I was able to flash freeze when you put them on like a cookie sheet with parchment paper and spread the fruit or the vegetables over the top and put them in the freezer for 2 or 3 hours, and then take them out and put them in freezer bags. So that's a really helpful way. But there have been some times where I was pretty swamped here in the kitchen, so I just had to get the food prepped and just put them in the freezer bags. So either way, it's a huge help. Now we can start here with mushrooms that I bought on sale. And this is where my food processor really is a helping hand. I was able to put these mushrooms in the food processor, so now I have mushrooms to make homemade mushroom soup. And these are quite small for the mushroom soup, whereas these ones here are in slices. So I can put these in spaghetti or goulash or different casseroles. So that's going to come in handy. And I have some carrots here that I bought on sale. Again, my food processor really comes in handy. These are all sliced up, but these won't last us very long. We eat a lot of carrots, so it's nice to have some carrots put aside in the freezer. These carrots here, I use the food processor again. I put them in the shredding part of I use the shredding blade, the round shredding blade. So I can make carrot cake and I can make muffins. I can put this in chicken pot pies, different casseroles. So it's very handy to have some shredded carrots. I also found some tomatoes on sale. So here's what I did with the tomatoes. They're all washed and cored, and I put them in freezer bags. So this will be of big use later on. These cute little tomatoes here, and I have some here. These are from my garden, so I'm happy that I was able to glean some of these types of food from my garden. And because they're in 2 different bags, it means I put them in my freezer at 2 separate times. I'll have to put them in one bag just to keep them all together now that they're all frozen. All right, here in the back, I've got some green onions that were from the garden. And I found some peppers on for a good price, actually reduced price. So I got them all washed up, put them in freezer bags, and I have some pears here in the back too. Some pears, a couple bags of pears here. And the last thing that I want to show you from my freezer today, and that is potatoes. Look at what I have here. Now this isn't something that I learned from research or anything. This is more experimental. Experimental. So what I did with my potatoes, when they come on sale for a decent price, I buy 2 or 3 bags at a time. And what I've been doing is washing them and then cutting them up the size that I want and putting them in a big bowl of water and dousing it with lemon juice so it doesn't turn brown. And they haven't been turning brown. See the coloring? And when I want to cook them, they're so easy. I just take them out and put them in a pot of water. And they turned out beautiful being frozen like that. And then I have some smaller ones that I use my food chopper. I did the same thing. I used my food chopper and cut up the potatoes, put them in a bowl of water, added, I didn't skimp on lemon juice. But you can see how white those are. This is going to be great for chicken pot pies. This is going to be great for casseroles, soups. Makes my job a whole lot easier. In fact, this is one of the things that I do have to freeze some more of today. I had bought more potatoes on sale, so I've got to get them prepped up today, put them in the freezer. I wanted to show you something else that I just took out of the freezer. Ta-da! In here I have cabbage rolls. I found some cabbage on for an extremely good sale price, so I picked up a lot of cabbage and I made cabbage rolls for my very, very first time. And here they are right here. And I've got some tomato sauce, homemade tomato sauce on the top. I made these probably about a week and a half ago. So tonight, I thought tonight would be a great night to have this for supper. So all this summer, I've been as busy as a bee, and this fall, I've been as busy as a bee, just keeping an eye on the sales, gleaning things from the garden, and making everything last, like using my dehydrator, or also my freezer. That's been a big help. And I do have a water bath canner, so that's how I made the green tomato relish, is with my water bath canner. So I'm learning a whole bunch of new things, but with today's economy and the food prices so high, I knew that it was time to learn those things to a better depth, because it just saves a lot of money and a lot of time too. So now, my friends, I think it's time for me to get those kitchen projects that I have to do today, get them going. My first project for today is to get these cranberries taken care of. So I'm going to wash them up, and I think I'm going to flash freeze these today and then put them in freezer bags. For my next project, I have some apples that I want to take care of. Some nice large apples in this bag. And look at the size of this beauty. Look how big that is. It's just gorgeous. And I don't want these to go bad, so what I'm going to do today is use my apple peeler. And this I just bought not too long ago. Was it just a few weeks ago? So I'm still in the learning process. And one thing I've learned about this apple peeler, and that is when you use crab apples, you have to be very, very careful that you don't cut yourself. This part here that peels the apple, it's very, very sharp. And also, here, I'm just going to move this back a bit so I can show you. It has a safety thing, plastic thing that I can take off. After I wash this, I always put this back on, this here. This here is extremely sharp. And this here is also very, very sharp, this here. When I was using crab apples, I cut myself on, well, I almost cut myself on that. But I cut myself on that. And thankfully it wasn't so deep that I had to go to the hospital for stitches. Thankfully I was just able to keep it clean and put a bandage on it. It took a while for my finger to heal. But just to let you know that these are very, very, very sharp if you ever think of buying one. But it's definitely worth buying one, because I made some apple salad for Thanksgiving and I used this here and it worked beautiful. Now I still was very careful that I didn't cut myself, but when you peel apples this big, it's a whole lot easier than peeling crab apples, just to give you the heads up. But yeah, so I'm going to get this bag of apples all done using the apple peeler. And then I'll put the apple slices in a bowl of lemon water and put them in the freezer in some freezer bags. My second last project for today is to do up these sweet potatoes here. And also, since we're on the topic of potatoes, I want to do up this bag of potatoes. Now this bag isn't completely full, it is open, see? So I do have just a few potatoes I want to do, and I'm going to put them in lemon water and soak them in a bowl for about 20 minutes. 20 minutes at a time. Of course, wash them, that's a given. I like everything clean all the time. So wash them and get them cut up in the sizes that I want and soak them in lemon water for about 20 minutes. Then get them dried a little bit and put them in freezer bags. It shouldn't take me too long. It's been a very productive day, but I'm almost finished. I'm almost finished. My last project for today is this bag of onions. Now I have used some of these onions. See the hole in the bag there? I have used some of these onions up, so it's not like a completely full bag. And I have given some of these onions to my daughter Stacy just to share a little bit, because I got them for a really, really good price. But I think today I need to get them all done up because it would be a shame for them to spoil, for them to go bad. So my plan is to dehydrate these. I'm going to wash up the trays for my dehydrators that need to be cleaned. So I'm going to get them all spick and span and ready to go. And some of them are already clean, so I just got to do the few that are left. So I'm going to peel all these, and of course, like onions, we all know that tears come with working with onions, so I don't know what my makeup is going to look like by the time I'm done this, but I got to get them peeled and cut them up a little bit. But I'm not going to do too much cutting because see this little beauty here? Da-da-da-da! This is a chopper that we bought from Amazon. And it has, this type of chopper comes with several different styles of blades. But for cutting the onions, I think I'm going to use this blade here. And this, I've used this several times since I bought it. And this is not a product that I grew up with. But now that I have it, and I haven't had it for too long, but now that I have it, I could never, ever, ever again go without it. That's how much of a help that this chopper is. But one thing I will say, the first time I used it, these blades are extremely sharp. And the first time that I put that blade in, I cut my finger. And all I did was move it a little bit and it cut. And it was a rather deep cut, but thankfully, again, I didn't have to go to the hospital to get stitches. So just giving you a heads up that these work beautifully, wonderfully well. Huge time saver, huge help, but they are extremely, extremely sharp. You definitely wouldn't want these type of blades around little kids, that's for sure. Or an elderly person that, well, that cuts themselves very, very easily, like me. So even I have to be careful. I actually use like oven mitts to help me put the new blades in, but also like a butter knife to help pry it out. See right there? To help pry the blades out without cutting myself. I need my fingers for my piano and my ukulele. I can't afford to be always cutting myself. But today, I'm going to be using this little beauty to help out with the onions. And because I have this isn't going to take me long to do this job at all. And with onions, it'll come with tears, yes, but it'll also come with speed. Getting close to the finish line, and what I have on the stove are 2 pots of water. I'm letting them come to a boil because I'm going to blanch the onions before I put them on the dehydrator. And I'll show you how many onions I have. The chopper was a huge help. It didn't take me long at all to get all of these done. So my next step is to put the onions in the boiling water, and they only need to go into the boiling water for about 30 seconds. And then I have to put them in some ice water to cool down, and then I have to put them in the dehydrators. Now I have the dehydrators all nice and clean, all washed and dried and ready to go. The last time that I dehydrated onions, I found that the dried onions stuck to the trays in my dehydrator. And although some of them came off easy, there were some that were stuck onto the dehydrator trays, and they were a little bit tricky to get off there. So what I'm going to do is cut up enough parchment paper, 1 for each tray, and there's a hole in the middle there. So I'm going to cut up some more parchment paper so that all the trays are full of parchment paper, and the onions will still dry, they just won't stick to the trays. Little trick of the trade. I'm going to use one of my strainers and drain the onions in the sink, and then I will very quickly put them in the ice water. That's to stop the cooking process. Ooh, it's hot. It's hot and steamy. I've got my parchment paper folded in half, and I'm just taking a bit of a guesstimate as to the measurement of the tray. I have a rough idea. About the size, and it doesn't matter if the parchment paper is a little too small. That's fine, as long as it's not too big. And of course the hole in the middle has to be big enough, not small, too small. It has to be the right size, or else a little bit big, which is fine. Had to think there. What do you think? You think I need to make it a little bigger? It might be okay. So I'm going to keep going with this as fast as I can, my friends, so I can get both dehydrators started. Getting close to the end. To those dehydrators. It's like music to my ears. Now these are set at 135, both of them, and they're going to be going all through the night, and I'm going to check on them tomorrow. If they need to be dehydrated a lot longer than tomorrow morning, I'll just keep them going. But I'm so glad that my very last project is done, and it is supper time. And we have cabbage rolls for supper, plus I had some salad inside the fridge, so we're going to have some salad with our cabbage rolls. So it's an easy supper tonight. And I would also like to name a channel on whom I've learned so much about dehydrating. It's a really nice lady by the name of Bev, and she lives in Quebec, Canada, and her channel is called Acre Homestead, and this is where I learned about dehydrating. I learned it from Bev, and I learned a lot of other things from Bev too, about cooking and freezing and just many things. So if you want to, go check out her channel. She's a really nice person, and I'm so glad that you're here with me. I got a lot of projects done today. I'm tired too. I'm very tired. But now I can put my feet up. And supper, I just have to put it in the microwave. Away we go. Well, my friends, I want to thank you again, one and all, for keeping me company this whole entire day. It's been a very productive day. I'm glad that I got so many projects done. And tomorrow I won't be so busy. I'll be able to relax a little bit tomorrow. Thank you again, my friends. It's always a pleasure having you around. And if you like this vlog, please give me the YouTube thumbs up or press that subscribe button. That would be great. And I have more vlogs coming up, so stay tuned. And I'll talk to you all soon. Talk to you soon, my friends. Bye. Bye.